welcome to your magical moon message. This is the peace dealer. Woo! Looking at an infinity right now. Forever, baby. Hey, embrace the synchronicities. At this stage of your growth, the synchronization process is nearing max completion. I just wanted to say a word. I used an adjective I didn't need to. It's nearing completion, okay? And not only is it nearing completion, this completion is what you will now take into the sign of completion and take action as your updated, completed self. Congratulations. We are now in the setup to the Balsamic Phase. The moon is finishing its 11th house arc from the end of Libra to the end of Scorpio, 28 degrees. That's gonna lead to the activation of the Balsamic Phase at the final degrees of Sagittarius. Once it goes into Sagittarius, the sun will be in Capricorn, and this will transcend the understanding of the vision of your dopest self in a practically applicable way that can now transform the nature of how you're ready to step into your greatest self. And that needs to fill you with so much excitement and purpose, because this is going to break you through into the total liberation of your being coming into the next 3 months that by March and April will step us into the beginning of the end of the fucking world. If you were born 93, 94, 95, you're the elites. You're up! If you got Saturn and Pisces, you're up! If you were born in the 1960s, you get ready for that final exam. If you have Saturn and Pisces, if you have Saturn Aqua, congratulations to my 92s, my 91s, my 93s, my 62s, and my 63s. Congratulations! Thank you for your service. They're trying to kill us out here. No, for real though. Anyway, other than that, despite the way that they're brainwashing your children to forget that their men are fucking women, this is going to ask you deep inside if you're a fucking coward or not. How many of you are still afraid to speak up about the truth? I'm not talking about your opinions. I'm not talking about how some of you, in the effort to keep it real, discriminate and hate on transgender people or gay people because their existence challenges your religion, but you can't practice your religion, and so you hate on these people. I'm talking about standing up to the truth against false narratives that use disadvantaged people like this to pander to them, to attack your kids. This shit is way beyond the LGBTQ, a vaccine mandate, the government. This is a spiritual war. And as you are mastering manifestation, your self-concept is so imperative. Do you still believe you're a race, gender, nationality, culture, name? You are a fucking spirit, and the soul powers your spirit. That's the current that through the resistance of your body creates the voltage of your unique essence. And if you're ready, I'm literally looking at the word electric as I say essence. So with that being said, Gemini sun, I see word synchronicities. You are understanding the pure transformative element of this ascension of your consciousness that in the 11th house portion will have you infinity manifest wisdom and synchronicities towards the final level of breakthrough, game on, and ascension. Everything that you didn't understand as you are now clearing the field and harvesting these crops will lead into this Balsamic Phase, which is the darkest point of the entire cycle, as the brightest shining light of the God-level Sagittarian creation energy casts the darkness of the Scorpio shadow and the occult hidden meaning behind everything that facilitated this amazing nature of your evolution. The moon is going to trine Jupiter as it's ready to go back into Aries. This is a culmination climax point that will freak you out, because the most divine understanding of yourself will literally explode through you. And if you still have any insecurities and doubts around the truth of who you are, it will literally destroy you and build you up. But if you stay anchored and true to you, despite what the external reality may challenge you to believe, you'll break through. This is evidenced by the square of Saturn to Aquarius. When pressure from false narratives pushes you to believe in something that's not true, you can decide to be a coward and shrink so that you don't express the controversial nature of your ascended philosophy, or you cannot be a bitch and just stand up for yourself. That's literally it. I know I saw the synchronicity dickies. I'm not being a dick. This is very important in the sense where if you let people who basically just want to manipulate you based on how your presence influences their insecurity or sensitivity, indirectly manipulate you. That's really the only issue here, because the peak of Sagittarius is freedom of expression in alignment with integrity. Saturn. Not freedom of expression giving in to fake pressure from people who don't even know who they are. Talk less of people who don't even know if they're men or women. Okay, and I'm not talking about trans people. I have to be very careful because I'm still getting accusations of being transphobic and homophobic, when in reality, transgendered people will say the exact same things out of my mouth. People from the LGBTQ community will say the exact things out of my mouth. Okay, they don't like being used to push a message, and you have to be very, very clear. And I'm just using them as an example. They can count for any group. This whole proliferation of a small minority of people speaking for the majority is an illusion. BLM does not speak for me. I'm not a black man. My life matters, but not because I'm black, because I'm spirit. And we're not the same, but I'm not that much different from you too. You know what I'm saying? Basic shit. So don't get caught up in this stupid ass politics, because it can really undermine the intensity of conviction that's gonna go into how you transform. If you argue with people about the philosophy, subjective philosophy of what they think is right or wrong, it's a literal distraction. Tell them to suck your dick and keep moving. Tell them to suck your dick, especially if you have a clit, and keep moving. I know a lot of you women are frustrated for having to fight for basic rights near almost all your life, to be hit with movements saying, you know what? You barely got to gain these basic rights, but now we're gonna give awards to men for being women. I'm just saying what everyone else thinks. I'm using this as a very important example because of how controversial it is in society. And that's Scorpio South Node. If you think about the movements that have started since 2012, when the North Node was around Scorpio, it's revisiting this opposite Uranus in a way that you can innovate the manifestation of your own values to counter the deception being used to manipulate weak minds. Okay? This isn't about arguing with people if your philosophy is right. It's about living it by example. Okay? Showing that goodwill. That being said, I've never discriminated against anybody who's ever wanted a reading. I've served everyone, regardless of who they feel they are. And I never let that get in the way of the work I do to people. So no one can ever say I'm anything phobic. I just be telling the truth. I'm a real ass nigga that be telling the truth. And, you know, the society doesn't respect individuals, you as an individual, and you're dealing with authority figures that want you to own nothing and convince you that you'll be happy for it. So I'm not here to share my ideas and agenda. You might agree with that, and that doesn't mean that you're wrong for agreeing with that. It's how well can you actualize this philosophy in your actions, because reality will let you know and humble you if you're just delusional. I'm sorry. If you're trying to manifest something that's just not true, and then you keep on seeing issues, you have to really align with you. Okay, that being said, the whole notion of who you are is evolving, because Jupiter's going ready to go back into Aries, and Neptune's finishing its transcendence of your self-concept out of the 3D indicators that have deluded you to your divinity at all times. See that? The original. I'm trans divine, baby, and you're trans divine too. The kingdom of heaven is within you. This is the new movement we're beginning. You are God. You are a God in a human body. You are trans divine. For those of you who wish to awaken that, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So just like I'm from the Igbo tribe, and so I'm Jewish, I can't be anti-Semitic. I'm trans divine, motherfucker. I can't be transphobic either. And this is the controversial moon opposite Uranus conviction you want to move forward to. That square to Saturn will rub people off the wrong way, but movements and revolutions were succeeded by doing that. So that's what I'm saying. Don't be a bitch. Anyway, it is what it is. This is occurring while the sun is squaring Jupiter and Neptune. And that is equivalent to having laughing gas. It's a dissociative effect with the potency of the square to transcend old beliefs in light of new beliefs taking place, while the moon gets ready to go into a 12th house transit as the sun squares the 12th house Neptune. Okay, Neptune's not in the 12th house, but it's associated with it. This is a very divine, supernatural, metaphysical transit. Miracle, baby, that in light of your synchronization will enable you to, in a hyper advanced way, integrate an infinite number or limitless amount of concepts into your consciousness that you'll very quickly move forward to. You have ascended the dopest version of yourself. There is a final secret unique to you that only makes sense to you, that might be delivered indirectly through the collective or society around you from within you, that will provide you the final piece of the puzzle. Right now, as you see this, the more you align with this wisdom within, that will skyrocket your evolution. Think nuclear energy, pure energy, that you put into a spaceship before it blasts off. Don't mind my ashy lips. Other than that, the whole notion of balsamic phases is to have faith. Because in the darkness cast by the highest light, this can question whether everything you've seen is really aligned the way it was meant to be. And the more you ignore 3D circumstances that don't align to the world you're creating within, this is going to break you through because you respond to it with the vision, Sagittarius, you've been creating. So at this last moment, do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up. Maintain the vision of the end state and take this final push to transform and break through this once and for all into your conscious world. Okay? The trine that the moon will make to Neptune will aid into the most intense understanding of this integration and synchronization that will facilitate this push forward in light of greater synchronicities and manifestations. Place your cosmic order, and the more you try and do to manipulate the 3D, it will push it away. A transit like this is going to unfold the next steps should you tune within, so you will know exactly what to do. As once we step into Capricorn, you'll do it. So you're going to receive the wisdom. The sun's going to enter Sag. Jupiter's going to enter Aries. The moon is in Scorpio, opposite Uranus. You're radically coming into this unconventional wisdom and final puzzle piece. Then when the moon goes into Sag, when the sun enters Cap and Jupiter enters Aries, you're going to take that final puzzle piece, you're going to put it on the puzzle, and then you're going to see the final vision. We're going to talk about that the next Magic Moon message. And then once you see that final vision, new moon in Capricorn, you step into the actions now that you've seen the final piece of the puzzle. That might be the best analogy that I gave relative to the cycle. The new moon, you unboxed a new phone, which is a new consciousness. The first quarter square, after downloading the system and the software, you started to personalize this phone like you would after you download apps on a new phone. Then the full moon, you started to use the true understanding of what the phone is about, leading into the third quarter square to manifest results of using an app on your phone to reach a high score. And now you're coming into the final secret of jailbroken elements of your phone, or just elements of the operating system of your phone, that will enable you to now take your phone to the next level, firmware update, right? And then you move into Capricorn season. Comment below what you're excited about moving into Capricorn season for, and what you learned Sagittarius season. Sagittarius season taught me that I'm the creator of my reality, and that I have every reason to be grateful, because as long as I stay true to my vision, everything will always unfold. I'm living proof. I've been doing this for 10 years. I don't need to work a job, baby. I'm my own boss. Shout out to my bleach fans. Soul Reapers up. Godspeed. I love you all.